The smartphone industry is constantly evolving, and there's no better example of this than the rise and fall of Blackberry and the ascension of Apple's iPhone. In the early 2000s, Blackberry was the go-to phone for professionals, known for its secure messaging and email capabilities. It was the ultimate status symbol in the corporate world. But then, everything changed. In 2007, Apple released the first iPhone, and it was a game changer. With its touchscreen interface, sleek design, and revolutionary features, it quickly became a status symbol of its own. But what did it mean for Blackberry? Blackberry was initially caught off guard by the iPhone's popularity. They didn't see it as a serious threat at first, but it quickly became clear that Apple had changed the game. Blackberry tried to compete by releasing touchscreen devices of its own, but they just couldn't keep up. The user experience wasn't as smooth, the apps weren't as plentiful, and the design just wasn't as sleek. I used to love my Blackberry, but once I got an iPhone, I couldn't go back. The iPhone just had so many more features, and it was so much easier to use. Blackberry's sales declined rapidly as more and more people switched to the iPhone. By 2016, BlackBerry had less than 1% of the global smartphone market share. It was a stunning fall from grace for a company that had once been on top of the world. Looking back, I think we underestimated the importance of user experience. We were so focused on security and productivity that we didn't realize how much people cared about design and ease of use. Today, the iPhone is the dominant smartphone on the market, and BlackBerry is a shell of its former self. It's a cautionary tale about the importance of innovation and staying ahead of the curve in the constantly evolving world of technology. One of the major factors that contributed to the demise of BlackBerry was the rise of the iPhone App Store. Apple's App Store allowed developers to create and distribute apps for the iPhone, which quickly became a huge selling point for the device. The App Store was a game changer for Apple. It allowed them to offer a huge variety of apps for the iPhone, which made it a much more attractive platform for consumers. BlackBerry tried to create its own App Store, but it was too little too late. Developers had already flocked to the iPhone, and consumers were already accustomed to the massive selection of apps available on the platform. I remember trying to use the BlackBerry App Store, but it just didn't have the same selection as the iPhone. It was frustrating because there were so many apps I wanted to use that just weren't available on BlackBerry. BlackBerry tried again with the Playbook tablet, but their App Store was once again lacking. It was a major setback for BlackBerry, and it showed just how far behind they had fallen in the smartphone market. The rise of the App Store was a turning point in the smartphone industry. It allowed Apple to dominate the market and push BlackBerry to the sidelines. Another key factor in BlackBerry's decline was their failure to adapt to the changing market. While Apple and other smartphone companies were constantly innovating and introducing new features, BlackBerry remained stagnant. Remember wanting to upgrade to a newer BlackBerry phone, but the new models just weren't that different from the old ones. There wasn't anything compelling enough to make me want to stick with BlackBerry. BlackBerry did try to adapt by creating a touchscreen phone, but it was too little too late. By the time the BlackBerry Storm was released, the iPhone had already captured a large portion of the market share. BlackBerry was slow to respond to the changing market. They were too focused on their existing user base and didn't see the importance of attracting new users. BlackBerry's failed attempt at creating a tablet, the Playbook, was another sign of their inability to adapt. The Playbook was released in 2011, but it was already too late. The iPad had already captured a large portion of the tablet market. BlackBerry was too slow to adapt. We knew we needed to innovate and introduce new features, but the company culture was resistant to change. Another factor in BlackBerry's decline was their heavy focus on enterprise customers. While BlackBerry was the go-to device for business professionals, the rise of the iPhone and Android devices shifted the market towards consumer-oriented devices. I remember when the iPhone first came out, it was seen as a device for consumers. But over time, it started to become more popular among business professionals. The iPhone had features that were just as good, if not better, than what Blackberry had to offer. Blackberry did try to create a consumer-oriented device with the Blackberry Z10, but it was too little too late. The Z10 was released in 2013, years after the iPhone had already captured the consumer market. BlackBerry's heavy focus on enterprise customers was a double-edged sword. While it allowed them to dominate that market, it also made it difficult for them to appeal to consumers. BlackBerry's declining market share was a clear sign that they were losing ground to their competitors. By 2013, BlackBerry's market share had fallen to less than 5%, compared to the iPhone's market share of over 50%. BlackBerry was too slow to respond to the changing market. We knew we needed to appeal to consumers, but we were too focused on our existing enterprise customers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.